Yo, what's going on, Joe Ghost here, and today I'm bringing some comparison video between the ISO and MP7. But before we get into all that, I want to give you guys a big thank you for 1,000 subscribers. Now, honestly, saying that just sounds so crazy to me because I never thought I was ever going to hit this milestone. And as cliche as that sound, if you understood the journey that it's taken me in the last few years to get to this point, man, you would see why I thought it was unachievable to hit 1,000. But yet, here we are, sitting 1,000 strong. And again, man, I am just very thankful for your guys' constant support. And I know that this is only the beginning and the grind is not going to stop. And Cold War is going to be our year, man. I'm telling you. Right now, 1,000 might seem small to some of you guys, but for me, man, this really feels like 1,000,000 to me. But sadly, I do not have a special video planned for 1,000. I always said I was going to do a face reveal, but judging by how I'm about to start doing face cam streams, I wouldn't say soon, but definitely before Cold War, I just feel like it's not going to be that special for me to just do a straight up face reveal because you're going to be seeing my face a lot more frequently in the future. So yeah. Also, if you haven't followed my Twitch channel, go follow that. The vibes at night are unmatched. I'll be streaming pretty much daily at night. I do it at night. And I'm telling you, man, the vibes are unmatched over there. It's a great time. So if you want to come out and hang out, go follow the Twitch channel and, your vibe. Also, man, like I said, hitting 1,000, man, does not mean that the grind stops. Nah, bro, the grind is barely getting started. I'm telling y'all, bro, Cold War is gonna be a crazy year, man. I got so much shit planned for it, and I just cannot wait to hit. I just cannot wait until November, was it 13th? Because that's just gonna, oh my god, bro. I just, so much shit planned. But anyways, like I said, thank you guys for 1,000, and yeah, let's get into the comparison. And here we have the Recoil Pattern for base ISO. Now, I wanted to make this video because I felt like I saw a lot of potential in the ISO to be used or utilized the same as the MP7. Now, I'm going to get into that in a little bit because right now my class setup is right here. And actually, if you have saw my ISO MP5 video, you would know that that class setup is completely different than the one that was in that other video. But regardless, that's the class setup that I'm using now. That's just what feels good to me. So right there in this clip, right, that was the first time using it for the week. And like I said, I felt like it could have been utilized as an MP7. And what I mean by that is, so with an MP7, right, to me it's a different than all the other SMGs in its class setup, or in its class, because of one reason. Because I see the MP7 as a primary weapon and not a secondary. So what I mean by that is, for example, an MP5, a P90, just any other SMG essentially, you would normally pair it up with your overkill AR. For me, an MP7, I only pair out with the sniper. I rarely, I rarely use it with like an M4 or a Kilo or stuff like that. I never use it as a secondary weapon. I always use it as a primary because it truly is an all-around weapon that can do it all, and you don't need to use it as a secondary. And I saw when I used the ISO at first, like when I made the MP5 ISO video, I saw the similarities to it in that sense at the time. But when I used it this time, I realized that this gun just doesn't have it like the MP7. And I couldn't use it as a primary. I had to actually make it back into a secondary. And honestly, I don't know. I guess I misjudged it the one time that I used it a long time ago. Well, not a long time, but like a few weeks ago. And I got like one long range kill, and I think that's what made me just spark the interest of it being like MP7. And I should have used it a little bit more, and I did use it a little bit more now. So now I understand what it's fully capable of doing. And yeah, actually, think about it now. If you guys know or remember that like a week ago, the ISO got a buff for movement wise. And honestly, I never realized how slow it was, and even then, I still don't realize how slow it is. But I guess that's all it received. And honestly, I think that it should have gotten a little bit of damage buff or damage range buff, something along those lines, or even a fire rate increase, because those are the two like lingering factors that make it an underpowered / underwhelming weapon. Like, don't get me wrong, the ISO is a pretty good weapon, but going up against the MP5 or even a P90 or a Uzi, like, it's most likely getting gunned, bro. And it's happened to me so many times that I started getting very frustrated with the weapon because I'm not gonna lie, bro, I was having trouble using it, especially when it came to facing the top tier SMGs. And so if you were to use an ISO, I'd be very careful going up against the MP5s and you know, all the other good secondaries in the game. Actually, and even the Origin, but nothing can really beat the Origin. So, but yeah. With that being said, let's get into MP7. And here we have the Recoil Pattern for base MP7. Now, this right here, to me, is old reliable. And why I say that is because I've used this MP7 since pretty much the beginning of Warzone, and it's been just as good the whole time for the whole lifespan of Warzone. And honestly, if you feel like you want to use a different weapon, I definitely recommend using MP7 because this thing is a monster, bro. If you want to have fun in Warzone, bro, slap on an MP7, put on a car, go have fun, bro. I'm telling you, it's, oh my god, bro, it's just so fun. But anyways, the MP7, man, is, I think, undoubtedly the best SMG to use as a primary. Now, is it the best overall SMG? Honestly, I think I probably put it up there. It's easily top 2, top 3. You could make a case for the MP5, the AUG, and the MP7. But I think that the MP7 might be number 1 for me in terms of overall. When it comes to like secondary engagements and close range engagements, then it's definitely on the lower scale or the lower tier. Because along with the ISO, this MP7 is very good, but it could still get outgunned by an MP5. So you gotta definitely be careful when you go up against MP5s, P90s, and Uzis and stuff. Just secondary SMGs because the primary ones could get outgunned. So that's why you see a lot of people or a lot of good players or a lot of streamers use the MP5 with the car because the MP5 is just the weapon to use at close range. And using an MP7 could put you at a disadvantage, but when it comes to range, medium engagements, bro, oh my god, this weapon is amazing, bro. Like, this weapon literally does not move, and if you can control your recoil even more, bro, oh my god. And for all of my keyboard and mouse players out there, oh my, like, come on, do I need to tell you how good the MP7 is? I don't. This gun is just amazing. But in terms of it to an ISO, or I guess compared to an ISO, like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro, it's definitely, it has a lot of things over the ISO. And honestly, it's not even the range, it's not the accuracy, it's not the mobility. To me, again, the biggest factor that the MP7 has over an ISO is the damage. Like, the ISO isn't terribly underpowered, but it's definitely underpowered to the sense that you can feel it compared to other weapons. And maybe even the fire rate's also one of the other things, or the other factor that makes it not as desirable to use as an MP7. Because I feel like the ISO definitely has range. I think it has somewhat control / accuracy and all that. But the damage and fire rate kinda, I don't know, they kinda steer me away from the weapon. And another thing that some of you guys might have a problem with the ISO is the iron sight. Now, the iron sight to me is, I wouldn't say a big problem, but it's definitely, compared to an MP7, is definitely just a lot worse. So if you take a look at the iron sight of the ISO and the MP7, you might, most of you are gonna prefer the MP7 one because of how clean and how, like, just, how to explain. It's a very good iron sight, very clean iron sight. The ISO isn't that, like, it's kind of clunked up because of the big square around it, and it has, and when you shoot it, man, it like moves awkwardly, so like it kind of half the time you can't see your screen or the target that you're shooting at because of how, like, I wouldn't say recoil, but like, I don't know how to explain it to you because the iron sight goes up and down, if you know what I feel like if I explain it to you, you would understand what I'm trying to say. But like, when you shoot, the iron sight kind of goes like shakes, and it's very annoying and distracting when you're shooting opponents. Now, and when you put on the collapsible stock for the ISO, it's even worse because I've used it before and I literally could not see the enemies in front of me really close because it kept moving so much. So I wouldn't recommend a sight on the SMG, but if you like feel the need to actually use the sight on the ISO, I wouldn't hold it against you because I've heard a lot of complaints about the ISO's iron sight, and honestly, I would join that complaint, but I can deal with the iron sights because it's really not incredibly terrible, but it's not good. And if you find the need if you feel the need to use a sight, by all means, go ahead. And yeah, let me know your experiences with the ISO and what your overall thought of the gun is. I'm not trying to sit here and shit on the gun, but I know obviously this whole video was kind of me shit on the gun, but the reality of it is that it's just a very underpowered weapon that I feel like should receive a little buff just so it can be a lot more reliable. And honestly, I still would recommend you using it once in a while, not like a reliable replacement for an MP5 or just any of the other SMGs in this category. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later, and again, thank you guys for 1,000. I'm out. Peace.